It's the Scotch Test Dummies, and that sounded like The Price is Right. But today we're going to be talking about Arran 14. We're talking about Arran 14.
That sounds like an auctioneer.
That's what I'm talking about, baby. I'm mixing it up.
Arran 14, no special caskings here. It's from the Isle of Arran.
It's an Isle.
And we're probably pronouncing that wrong.
I think it's Arran.
Let's test it.
Test it! We're coming in. We got Isle of Arran. It's its own isle. So there was some guy named Arran at some point in time. I know it's probably Gaelic and means island. So, but I'm going to pretend there was a famous dude that was.
So you think that's official? You think Arran is Gaelic and it means island?
Or there was a dude that was so successful that they named the island Arran. They're like, what should we call this island that we've landed at? They're like,
good.
Wasn't sure. Sometimes I pour and he's like, what are you doing? You got more. And I'm like, sorry.
You give me like 2 drops last time. Okay, actually, this is going to be, we have a new segment that's going to make its appearance today. It's going to rear its ugly head.
I like the name, and I'm just going with your flow is what I'm doing.
Okay. So this one's going to be a simple one. We're just going to do this one right here. But today is the first episode of The Dram Idiot. We have an apology to make. We have offended some viewers. In our review of the Springbank 10-year-old, we mistakenly refer to the Springbank 10 as not being peated. We have been corrected. The Springbank 10 is peated.
I thought I said it didn't taste peated.
We are sorry we made that error.
It was an error.
It won't happen again. I'm sure it will happen again.
Oh, I guarantee it.
We need like soft music playing. Maybe that other song we got from Dan. There's some like funeral music playing while we're apologizing.
I don't think so. I'm editing. That sounds different.
I know you're busy. You don't have time.
Got a lot of stuff going on.
We are sorry if we offended anybody by misstating the Springbank 10 is not peated.
I'm almost indifferent.
And thus, the first episode of The Dram Idiot.
Now, we did talk. I like the name. I don't remember being the one that came up with the name.
Okay.
But somebody may have called us like damn idiots. And I could see me saying more of a dram idiot.
Here, actually, I said, hey, we need to do like with a dunce cap.
I agree with that. I love the dunce cap.
And we do the corrections with the dunce cap.
Boom.
And, we do the apology.
I like that. Dunce cap is back in
And then
vogue.
you came up with the Dram Idiot name because it's close to damn idiot.
Right. But if I remember right, though, I remember saying something like we might be wearing the hat a lot.
Yeah.
We might be wearing the hat a lot. So, because as we finish, we're going to get into this, but then when we wrap up, I wanted to talk a little bit about this whiskey quest that we're on, but we'll do that later. So, Arran 14.
Have we already talked about that?
We mentioned it once, but it came up in one of our live shows with the North Shore Whiskey Club.
So it's been mentioned twice.
Not yet. This will be twice.
This will be trice.
This will be, no, this will be
Thrice.
the second. Oh, you're talking about, no. Me mentioning a whiskey quest.
Yeah.
Right. No. All that Shag said was that, hey, it's been real fun watching you guys as the dummies grow in your knowledge of whiskey. And I was like, bam, I agree. Now, about a year and a half ago, I mentioned we were on a quest, a whiskey quest.
I don't think it was a year and a half ago.
It was a year and 7 months. What do you get on the nose? Because we'll come to that more on the end.
Okay, so the Arran 14, again, no special casking here, straight oak, 14 years, 46% ABV,
Digging that.
non-chill filtered, no color added.
Again, love both of those.
Right there on the label.
Now, I'm big on the non-chill filtering because I think it leaves more of those natural oils in there. I don't think I can pick out when it's got the coloring in it. I just don't think it's needed. I think let it be pale, let it be dark, let it be whatever.
Okay, let's say we had a bottle, this exact same bottle side by side. One was non-chill filtered and one was not non-chill filtered.
I'd love to try them and see how they're different. I don't think I could.
Could you tell the difference?
I don't know. We'd have to, we need like Brooke Lottie to put
Is
out
all
like,
the-
this one's chilled, this one's
I
not.
know. Is all the hoopla.
Well, no.
Substantiated.
Well, what I read this, and I wish I could source who put this in, but they literally explained that with the chill filtering, the nature of it doesn't allow as much of those heavier like tannins to carry through. They get filtered out, and then they explained how you can taste that it makes a whiskey lighter and I think they said fruitier in some extents. But I love my heavier, earthier, oily drams, and so I mean, I'm no chemist, but keep it as close to the natural deal as they can. Leave it. It'll be compass box. It'll say this one's chill filtered, this one's not. Other than that, they're the same. And I would love to
make
try
it like a sample pack, like 375 with smaller bottles side by side.
That'd be great. Like
200 milliliters.
Like Brook Lottie with their Port Charlotte Isla barley and their Port Charlotte Scottish barley. I actually like the Scottish barley better.
Yeah.
I mean, I get it, but I love that they were allowing me to compare. So,
has anybody out there had the exact same scotches though, where one is chill filtered and one isn't, and can comment? I mean, are the differences noticeable?
Throw your comments in there. The beauty of us being dummies is that our fans have wonderful comments. They'll source links. They do all kinds of cool stuff.
And send us samples so we can see.
There's a distillery out there that's got a chill filter and a non-chill filter. We'd love to do those as a versus.
We got 75.
Boom, your cap and yours was 75. These are the Scotch Test Dummies coins. They help us promote the show, and we use them as toppers.
I get oak, lemongrass, and vanilla. Pretty simple.
Huh. I got a cherry on the nose. Huh. I get a grassiness, but I get like a grain sweetness right along there with it. But my nose is always, if I'm getting a grass or a hay, oftentimes that's very, very close to when I'm also picking up a grain. So I definitely get a grain sweetness.
A vanilla cream right up front. It's very full. The 46% is perfect on this one, I think. Delicious, neat. Oak.
Yeah.
Lemon. And vanilla. And I get a little hint of almost a port finish with some berries, with a berry sweetness. Although there isn't any port finish here. Almost a little bit of that berry sweetness.
I'm with you on the berry. I list right in my notes, and I'm getting it here. The berry I get almost maybe not quite a sherry, but I guess berry is probably the better way to reference it because it's not a raisin. It is much more of almost like a hint of raspberry even, just a subtle hint. I get a lot of oak, and it's dry, it's astringent, it's hanging, the finish is astringent, the hollow of my cheeks is dry. Let me put a little water in, see if that's going to change this up any.
This is also our New Year's Eve episode.
Well, Lord have mercy.
Happy New Year's to everybody.
Happy New Year's.
I just had to pull up our dates. Yeah, pull up our. I was like, this should be right in there.
Happy New Year. We're heading into 2017. I can't believe it.
What's that?
I don't know. It was almost like a catch. I can't believe it's happening.
Into
2017. Yeah, I don't know. I hung up. I'm thinking 2017.
Okay, so this bottle was actually, my wife bought this for me last year for Christmas. So for Christmas of 2015, this has been sitting here waiting to be reviewed.
Yeah, waited like 6 or 7 months on my shelf before I tried it.
I took my notes last January, matter of fact, on this.
Right, my original notes, 8/24.
Our liquor store has had several versions or several Arrans on the shelf.
Yeah.
This was my first Arran. Was it the first one? I know you bought the 10, though, around the same time.
And I think I tried the 10 first, if I remember right. Because then we got another Arran back here as well, don't we?
Yeah, the port cask finish one.
Right. Yeah, we got 2 Arrans.
One of the cask finished versions, which there were several of those, but we got the port. great with adding water, I guess.
Wow. Water sweetened it up for me considerably. Man, the term berry rind almost came to me. Wow. A little bit of the sour berry. Go ahead.
I was going to say, nothing really changed up too much for me. Still the same notes. Vanilla cream, citrus, a little bit of a berry sweetness, citrus, oak.
I'm getting a lot more of the vanilla now, too. I did not, that's nowhere in my notes here. And when you said it, I was like, man, I'm not getting that, but I'm getting more vanilla. And like I said, the only way I can describe the difference in the berry is it's almost like the rind of a raspberry when it's left over and you're still kind of chewing on it. I'm seeing your 88. The oak here.
I forgot.
The oak here is what is not as in line with my personal palate. My palate doesn't lean towards those more oaked wooded finishes, and I give it an 85. It's not bad, solid. What is that, a -2? What, plus -2?
Yep.
What kind of weird shenanigans is that?
Well, that's because everybody comments, oh, I give this one a 85, I give this one a 90. There's a plus or -2 error margin in my score now. Well, I'll give it each one will get its handicap. It might be like a 1 or over under, you could call it.
It's distasteful. What? That's like equivocating.
So it could be, the range 86 to 90.
Put in the comments if you feel like me. I feel let down and abused by that rating.
Yeah, it's an over-under score, too. It's a handicap.
That gives you a range of 4.
Yeah,
That's
on this one.
Horrible.
It could be a 0. It might be a 0. That's it. I might put 88, 0. Boom. No room
so you
for
got
error.
your own
There's no
made
error
up,
margin.
You got your own made up margin. Like if you try something, you're like, I don't know, it's an error of 10.
Yeah.
Plus or minus 10.
That'd be a little broad, but
That's broad. Just pick a number.
We might see some 3s. You don't know.
3s? A plus or margin of a total of a 6 range?
Yeah.
This is dang. You're going to be wearing the Dram Idiot hat just for that alone. That alone.
The Dram Idiot's for corrections.
Yes. Yeah, you're going to get roast him in the comments on that one.
This is my
roast him.
This is my New Year's resolution.
That is just. I need to shake it off. That just.
There's a plus or -2.
Not that we're scientifically here, but I say land on a number, pull the trigger. My notes here sometimes will go up or down a little bit, but when I pull it right now, boom, it's an 85, and that's why. All right, so this is part of our journey. See, that's a perfect segue. If we've got, I was telling Scott, we kind of got 2 things.
I'm not saying this is going to stick. I just thought of this. We had some comments come in on
stand
scores,
strong, my friend. If you want that, stand strong.
No, I'm just saying that would be. I thought that would.
Now you're waffling. Now you're a waffler now with your own rating system. Leave that in. I mean, it's an interesting part of the show.
Interesting concept.
Is it worth it or not? 50-50. We don't know.
That's right.
We'll get to that in a second. Or do you want to do it? Is it worth it? And then we can come back to my quest, my whiskey quest, our whiskey quest.
Is it worth it?
Whiskey quest.
This is $70 range.
No, I'm not buying it for that. I mean, that's a good Scotch range.
I believe because my wife bought it. I'm pretty sure 65 to 70.
Right in there, it's close. I'm not, for me, no. I wouldn't buy it for that tasting.
Are you going to buy a Lefroy or an Ardbeg?
No, Tomatin 18.
Are you going to buy a
Tomatin 18
Scotch?
I would buy. Yep.
You wouldn't buy a bourbon?
No, bourbon's almost never hit into the 80s for me or the 70s. I can't think of a bourbon or a rye that I would pay Scotch prices for.
How do you think this compares to Balvenie 14?
Not even in the same world.
Yeah, pretty close.
I don't think so.
Pretty close.
Balvenie is doing those extra caskings and moving them around. And there's this, I almost feel like there's an art in what Balvenie's doing. And Balvenie kind of took me by storm when I had it. And I think this is good. It's solid. And if you like the oak, you're going to like this. My palate, no. I recognize it's good. There's some subtleties here. There's nothing bad about it at all. Just with my personal palate, doesn't hit me in a sweet spot, and I wouldn't pay that much for it. Would it be worth it for me? No. If you like the oak, I think it's right up your alley, plus or minus 8.
I think it's worth it. I think it's a well done Scotch. The 14 years is showing its age here with it. Great flavors. I don't think if you bought a bottle you'd be disappointed.
Unless you don't like oak. And then, I mean, there's a strong oakiness to it. That wood is really there in the forefront. That's all I'm saying. That's the only thing.
I don't think so.
Huh.
I think the citrus and the vanilla is more present than the oak.
The berry. I'm not.
I was impressed by this for the first showing for the Arran line for me. I thought it was well done, and fact is, I went out and bought the Arran port cask finish, which we'll do coming up.
Well, I purchased the 10
because this one was so.
I'm not anti-Arran, and that's not a horrible score. I'm just saying with the oak, it's where I don't go.
What'd you give it?
85.
What was your plus or minus?
20. So, on our whiskey quest, I think there's 2 things to our show that make us worth watching. Number 1, the whimsical nature of it, and the fact that we make you feel like you're at the table with us. No, thank you. You're at the table with us, enjoying the dram. I've sometimes stated we're definitely whimsical. We're not stuffed shirts. I had a buddy of mine that said, I don't think I can drink Scotch with you because I don't have a tweed jacket with patches on the elbow. And I go, what are you talking about? They're like, well, there's so many rules. I'm like, shut up. And we brought him over and we introduced him, and he enjoys it. So that's the first nature. We're going to make it feel like you're here. What you see is literally what you get. This is us. We don't, action, and then all of a sudden, you're plus or minus 2. I mean, we can just tell. All right, so that's number 1. We're bringing you in. You feel like you're here, whimsical, no tweed jacket with a patch. The second thing is our quest, our journey. You can go back and watch our first episodes. Ooh. Yeah, that's what you do all the time. That's what I love it. That's what I love it. That's like...
that's what you love it?
That's why I love it. Imagine you love the Lord of the Rings, and not Bilbo, because that's the Hobbit. What's the other one called?
Which one?
His little nephew. Not Bilbo, the other one.
His Bilbo.
Bilbo's the senior, which
Frodo.
is from the Hobbit. Yeah, Frodo.
Gosh,
so when Frodo starts off, he's like doesn't know anything and everything, and then by the end of it, he's journeyed, he's quested, and he's turned into this awesome, part of the team. I kind of feel like that's the quest we're on. We start off, you cringe at our first episodes. Right. And I've gone back and looked at some of them. I'm like, oh my, okay. But you can see us get better as we
Definitely.
go. You even see our sets get better as we go, and our video equipment and our lighting get better as we go. So we're questing and we're getting better, and we're gathering friends and fans. And then we start adding in segments, and we start coming up with weird things like test it and is it worth it and scotch it.
At first we didn't have any of our music.
Right. Yeah.
We didn't score.
Dan Pancaldi, a fan, sees it and says, "Hey, I like music. I do a little thing in the music biz, and I'd like to make you some music." And we're like, "Yeah." We got the chupacabras coming in.
Yeah, that's newer. She wasn't here at first.
Right.
We do the "Is It Worth It" segment. Now we got the Dram Idiot.
Right.
Cousin Shane's been on the show.
Cousin Shane comes in, so we're bringing in this weird entertainment.
Our moms.
Our moms have been present. We've been old men. We're going to have more of that. Yeah, we had the deal with the mustaches where we're laughing so hard it's not even professional.
I developed a handicap.
Yeah, you got this range of 28 that you're dealing with here. But what's happened? We've opened up with verses with these massive shootouts with all these bottles, and we've begun live shows, and it's just amazing, and the people we're meeting along the journey, along the quest, we're meeting these people that are elevating us. Sometimes we can elevate them, and I just really, really love that. It was in our live show with the North Shore Whiskey Club out of Boston, Shag and D, and
Darren.
Yeah, but he calls him D.
Oh.
I caught that. Shag called him D, and I'm like, from here on out, I'm calling him Shag and D. Like Heavy D. I just loved it. I was like, yeah, Heavy D and Shag, man. I feel like we're rock stars now. And they'd mentioned that Shag had told D, hey, tune in. And at first he was like, these guys are goofy. Yeah. He's like, yeah, they are. Look at them. Right? And then and along they were for the ride. So the whiskey quest. I feel like we're on a quest. And we're not even, I don't even think we're like halfway through the journey.
Oh, no.
That's what I'm saying.
I put us about 25% into the journey.
So imagine, view out. I mean, we haven't even been over to the land of Scotland yet.
No.
Right, we haven't even visited a distillery.
No.
We're getting ready to interview some people that are much deeper into the industry. I mean, it's just
We're still
cool
dumb.
thing.
We're just not as dumb as we were when we started.
Right. Well, we're growing, we're questing, and I love it. And we can bring the enthusiasm, and hopefully we'll keep the tweed jackets off. Although we might do one just for fun at some point in time. That'd be kind of cool.
Yeah. With
and
elbow patches.
Oh yeah, you gotta have
elbow
if you got a tweed jacket, you gotta have an elbow patch because
right.
you're thinking a lot. So we are going to Scotch it, you Scotch gods.
Cilantro.
Dummies.